Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Dear Daydreamer podcast. I got my little setup today, got an espresso candle going from Anthropology. I love this candle so much. I think that coffee is one of the best scents that there is, so this candle is perfect. And I got my kombucha drink with me. I feel like it's become a habit of mine to have some kind of drink every time I'm recording. It's fun, a little fun thing to do. Today I'm trying this lemon berry kombucha and I like it a lot. So let's start off with our affirmation card of the week. I am getting healthier and more joyful in every way, every day. I am getting healthier and more joyful in every way, every day. What a positive way to start things off today. And honestly, in terms of going with the flow, I feel like that's such a good affirmation. Usually for me, I feel like I'm always the type of person that has to stick to the plan, and I like to be organized and I like to have a schedule, and I definitely still like sticking to a schedule and having some kind of routine. But recently I've been finding that I've kind of been easing into my routine in a much more relaxed way where I'm not as stressed out as I used to be. And I feel like that truly is because I've slowly started to go with the flow more, go with the flow in my everyday life and routine, and just kind of ease into that mindset. So, I've mentioned this book before in other episodes, and honestly, I feel like I'm always bringing up different quotes from books that I've been reading because they impact my ideas so heavily. But The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra has so many magical little nuggets of information, and I just wanted to bring up the law of least effort in today's episode because I feel like the law of least effort goes hand in hand with me talking about going with the flow. Basically, in his book, he talks about how the law of least effort allows the self to flow with the forces of the universe. And that's what we're really talking about today. Just becoming part of the flow of the universe, or trying to work on that rather than constantly stressing myself out. Because I feel like I'm definitely not the only one when I say, we all have so many things going on during our day, whether it be going to class, working out, going to your job, going to buy groceries. There's always so many things we have going on. I'll always be trying to stick to my routine and stick to my schedule, but lately I've been trying to let there be more flexibility in my schedule, allowing myself to be able to adapt and allowing myself to flow with the forces of the universe. And I think these ideas also kind of go along with mindset and trying to have a more positive mindset and outlook towards life. So for example, today I wanted to wake up early and get to the gym at a certain time, and what ended up happening is I woke up at the right time, but then I fell back asleep and woke up 2 hours later, and at first, for a split second, I felt myself go, ugh, I can't go to the gym now, it's too late. And then I was just like, it's still early enough, you could still fit it into your schedule. There's no need to react to that in a negative way. Instead, I was like, I could still make this work. Let me just go with the flow, get to the gym, not worry about time. And obviously there has to be some structure still, right? Like I knew that I wanted to sit down and record an episode today, and then I have to be at the train later. But I still had a good amount of time to get things done. There's no need to stress and be like, oh, I didn't wake up at that time and that was the time I wanted to go here or there and now I can't do that anymore. Instead, I'm just simply allowing myself to adapt to the situation. And of course, that circumstance is really not that serious at all. But that's just a little example to explain what I mean. We can choose to stress ourselves out and feel like we have to stick to this certain way of living life and getting things done at a certain time, or we can simply just try to relax into that state of flow. And what ended up happening is I had a great morning. I got to the gym, I was able to take my time. I even got breakfast after with Dane. So now I'm sitting here, have plenty of time to do this, and I'll move on to the next. And that kind of goes along with another idea from the law of least effort. By acting with less effort and more ease, I feel like I get the same things done. And acting with less effort and more ease doesn't mean that you don't have discipline or you aren't working hard. That's not what that means. It just means you're simply relaxing into the circumstance that you're in. Another example, something I'll do frequently because I usually get stressed out about like how long it's going to take me to drive somewhere, how long the train ride's going to take to get here. I'm always like looking at the time and checking the time. But recently I found that again, honestly, it hasn't even been intentional, but I'm so glad that I have been doing it and I've been aware of that, because I've been like, wow, recently I've been so relaxed with like driving to the train station and knowing, okay, I have to leave around now, but I'm perfectly fine. I know I have plenty of time to get there. And then I get there. I get there with plenty of time and I'm on time. It's funny because whenever I'm stressed about getting somewhere on time or thinking, I'm gonna be late, I'm usually closer to being late, or I'm more just stressed out instead of just going with the flow of it. Because guess what? If I didn't get to, say, the train station on time to get to where I needed to be, I would have to then figure out what I'm going to do from there. And I can either figure it out from a negative, stressed mindset, or I can just figure it out from a more relaxed, this is what it is, it's all going to be okay, what can I do now kind of mindset. Not everything has to go one certain way. We can allow ourselves to have more flexibility with our schedules. And along with flexibility, I feel like I've just been trying to, again, adapt to the circumstance I'm in and allow myself to be spontaneous. That's a thought I've been having a lot lately. Allowing myself to be more spontaneous instead of, again, everything needs to be this one certain way. It's so freeing to be spontaneous and let myself go with the flow of where I'm currently at, rather than being like, I need to be here at this time, I need to do that at this time, I need to get this and that done. Instead of doing that, I'm still going to get everything I need to get done, just from a different point of view, from a more relaxed perspective. Bringing up the law of least effort again, Chopra says, and I'm paraphrasing loosely, but he basically tries to explain the law of least effort as this idea of nature's intelligence functioning spontaneously and effortlessly. For example, grass doesn't try to grow, it just grows. The sun doesn't try to shine bright, it just does. Nature functions with carefreeness, harmony, and love. And he goes on to say, when we harness these forces, we create success and good fortune with effortless ease. And then he also goes on to talk about accepting yourself, which then takes away judging yourself. So this morning I could have been like, judging myself for not getting up at the time I wanted to and being like, oh, well, I can't go now. Instead, I was like, it's totally okay. You were tired and you needed to sleep. And then the next step, which is taking responsibility, which then leads to defenselessness, the idea of giving up being right. And he says, like, it doesn't mean you don't have a point of view. It just means you're opening yourself up to be more open. Or I also like to look at that too as like, I don't have to be right. I don't need to stick to everything that I thought I needed to do today. I'm gonna go with the flow and accomplish as much as I can and know that that's enough. And while it's so easy for me to talk about going with the flow, I'm still finding the flow for myself. But I'm just learning that I've been finding so much more peace when I allow myself to know that it's okay to have more flexibility, to be able to adapt to what's happening in a positive way rather than negative, to allow myself to be spontaneous, which also allows me to enjoy myself more and maybe do things that I wouldn't typically do. The other day, I ended up taking a day off to go to a concert with my friends, and it was the best decision that I could have made for myself. We went to a concert in Philly, and I just allowed myself to fully just go with the flow all day. And yeah, of course, it's also easier to go with the flow when you don't have to necessarily do anything or get anything done and it's a day off. But just being in that space of going with the flow, having no agenda, allowing myself to relax into the moment really, again, allowed me just to see how important it is and how beneficial it is to have that mindset and just spontaneously be like, let's go walk there, let's go do this. Oh, why don't we try that out? And truly, again, it just brings me back to this idea that I've definitely mentioned before on other episodes of how nothing's that serious in life. I mean, it is. In the sense of we only have this one life to live. There are so many people in this world going about their lives day after day. We all have such different lives that we're living. And we all deserve to go through life with ease, to go through life moment by moment. To be honest, I personally do just want to be more relaxed into the moment. I want to go with the flow and let that lead me wherever it may, and know and trust that I'm on the right track. But there's no need to put so much stress on ourselves. Again, it's okay to be disciplined with ourselves, but we only have so much control at the end of the day. Come here. My dog's joining in with us for the last chunk of time. We only have so much control over things in life. And I'm going to end with this cheesy little quote, but it's so true. Go with the flow. You can't control the whole sea. The only thing you can control is your ship. I feel like my stress most of the time comes from trying to control things, trying to control the sea, when I can really only control me, my ship. I'm just going to surrender to that. Surrender, let the universe, the sea, God, however you want to look at it, take you to where you want to be. Just easing into the flow. Thank you so much for listening to this go with the flow kind of episode. It really was a go with the flow kind of episode because it's just how I've been feeling lately, and I was like, all right, this is what I'm talking about today. And I am looking forward to chatting with you again next week. Thanks for listening.